When momentum turns inward, why Faye and Yoko's quiet era feels intentional. There are moments in every story where the noise fades, not because something ended, but because something changed. For Faye and Yoko, fans believe they are standing right inside that moment now. What once felt loud, spontaneous, and emotionally open has shifted into something quieter, steadier, and far more controlled. And while some fans are still trying to figure out what's missing, others are starting to realize something deeper. Nothing is missing. The era has simply changed. From a meteoric rise to a carefully measured presence. The rise of Faye and Yoko was fast. Too fast, some would say. Their chemistry felt effortless, their bond felt visible, and their energy became something fans could almost reach out and touch. Every interaction was dissected, every glance turned into a theory, every moment became content. But with rapid growth comes pressure. And with pressure comes the inevitable moment where a story has to choose between surviving or burning out. That moment appears to be now. The pause that nobody wanted, but everyone needed. When things began to slow, many fans saw it as distance. But distance is usually chaotic. What happened here was structured. There was no dramatic fallout. No emotional rupture. No sudden erasure. Instead, there was a pause. A quiet recalibration that felt too balanced to be accidental. And in hindsight, it feels less like separation and more like protection. When momentum turns inward, at the height of their visibility, momentum meant being seen. Now, momentum seems to mean being careful. Instead of expanding outward into more moments, more appearances, and more emotional availability, their energy is folded inward. This is the phase where growth becomes private, where connection stops being a performance and starts being a responsibility. Why fans feel uneasy, even without real problems. Here's the truth many fans don't want to admit. They're not reacting to change. They're reacting to less access. Access created intimacy. Intimacy created comfort. Comfort created expectation. Now that expectation is being gently undone. And when people are used to seeing everything, even healthy silence feels suspicious. Faye's role has shifted into something heavier. Fans who pay close attention have noticed something about Faye lately. Her energy feels different, not colder, but stronger in a quieter way. She isn't leaning into the public narrative anymore. She isn't feeding speculation. She isn't amplifying emotional moments for visibility. Instead, she feels like an anchor. The kind of person who absorbs pressure rather than reflects it. And that usually happens when someone is trying to keep something important steady. Yoko's recovery has changed the center of gravity. Recovery doesn't just heal the body. It changes priorities. It changes pacing. It changes what matters. Fans believe Yoko's recent experiences have moved her into a more grounded, less reactive emotional space. And instead of trying to return to what things were, she seems focused on what is sustainable. Not the hype. Not the expectations. Not the fantasy. But the reality. Why quieter doesn't mean further apart. Some fans are interpreting the quiet as emotional distance. But others see the opposite. They see less performance, more presence. Fewer signals, more stability. Fewer moments, but more meaning. Sometimes, closeness stops needing to be loud. Sometimes, the strongest bonds stop proving themselves. The hidden weight of being watched. One of the hardest things about their rise was not fame. It was surveillance. Every moment became something to decode. Every expression became a headline. Every silence became a rumor. At some point, self-preservation becomes more important than storytelling. And this phase feels like self-preservation. Why this era feels more mature than romantic. The early chapters were fueled by emotion. This one is fueled by responsibility. It's not about how things look. It's about how things last. And stories that last always pass through a quiet era. Fans are watching a relationship grow up in real time. Not fall apart. Not fade away. Not retreat. But mature. And maturity is rarely entertaining at first. It doesn't trend. It doesn't explode. It doesn't create dramatic edits. It simply exists. The real turning point isn't what changed, it's who changed. The biggest shift isn't between Faye and Yoko. It's within them. They're no longer moving for the audience. They're moving for themselves. And that might be the healthiest, most terrifying thing fans have seen yet. Final thoughts. The quiet era might be the most honest one yet. This isn't the end of a story. It's the moment the story stops being performed. And if that feels uncomfortable to watch, it's because we were never meant to be this close in the first place.